Hey, it's Dave. So I just came back from checking out a new all-electric RV trailer at South by Southwest. And I asked the founders if I could do an interview with them. So what follows is a walkthrough of the exterior and interior of the Lightship RV. It's their first prototype and they're hoping to start production by the end of 2024. Now, this isn't a paid or promoted video. I'm just a person who loves RVing and new technology, so I wanted to learn more myself. I'll show a 30-second video from the company to give you an overview of the product, and then we'll dive into the walkthrough. Hope you enjoy.
I think it's super inventive that they have an electric lightship, and all the thought that has gone into how this works.
Troy's our software leader. I'm here with Ben Parker and Toby Kraus, the founders of Lightship RV. We're going to do a tour outside and inside, ask questions, really go in depth. Toby, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Toby. I'm one of the co-founders here at Lightship.
I'm Ben. I'm the other.
We got right here the first American all-electric RV. This is called the Lightship L1, and we just unveiled it 3 days ago here in Austin, South by Southwest.
Awesome. Cool. Let's do a walk around outside, then inside. We'll go into some more questions. Lots to talk about on the Lightship. We call this our first model. It's kind of a flagship model. We call it the L1. It is as Toby mentioned it. So this is it's a modern all-electric RV. It's built to be very aerodynamic. The entire roof is a solar roof. Effectively, it's covered in solar panels or solar cells that are integrated into the roof line. We have built this is purpose built from the ground up for the age of electrification, and we've rethought almost everything. Not the plumbing and the sewage, but everything else to make something that's really unique and kind of ready for the future. So we can take a little tour around. Yeah. First thing you see on the front here, and y'all who are familiar with travel trailers, you'll expect to see some sort of a storage box or a box on the tongue of the vehicle. We have that too, although the reasons that it's there are different than normal. Normally, on a traditional travel trailer, you'd store your propane cans, under the tongue box. In our case, there are no fossil fuels on board. Every bit of power is electric and run off of it's battery electric in particular. Use lithium-ion batteries, and so with that space, we do two things. One, we have this large aero shroud on the front. It's actually really important to fill the space between the back of the tow vehicle and the front of the RV for aerodynamic performance, because you want to reattach the flow to the body line of the vehicle as it comes in a very chaotic fashion off of the back of the tow vehicle, usually a truck or a big SUV. Two is that with that space that used to be allotted to propane cans, now we can use it for our thermal system, and in particular, it's an HVAC system. So it's a heat pump, bidirectional. It can do either heating or cooling, and that's how you keep your cabin cool. You can catch a peek of it as you come around the back. This is our alpha prototype, so you could call it a sort of a pre-production model. Some things.
This is the heat pump back here, I'm guessing.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, got it.
Or at least that's the exterior unit.
Is this some storage down here?
Yeah, exactly. It gives you a sense. It'll actually, I believe, we're aiming for pass through, so a true pass through garage on the production model. But this gives you a sense of where your outdoor storage is at. Right now, this is the water hookups. That'd be your city water.
Okay.
Yep.
And then right here, you've
we've got this is the lift system, right?
Yeah, exactly. So one thing that we can yeah, there you go. You can see the ball screw.
Yeah.
One thing that is, I'd say actually one thing that's unique about this prototype is that oftentimes companies launch with a show car. So it would be in the automotive industry, you call it which many of us are from, the EV side of automotive. Toby and I both were at Tesla for about 5 or 6 years apiece. He led finance there. I was a battery engineer on the Model 3 and the start of the Cybertruck program. Actually, this is a side story, but y'all will appreciate it. The origins of Lightship came while I was still working at Tesla. I was at the Deer Creek office, so the headquarters in Palo Alto at the time, and had a little bit more time because I was out of production hell in Reno. The Model 3 was finally ramped and in stable volume production, and so I had this pet project at that point to try to electrify all the food trucks in the Bay Area, because I and my coworkers would eat at a food truck every day, and I just could not stand the gas generators that they use to supply power on board, and so I took it upon myself to try to get rid of these gas generators and help food truckers convert to an all electric system, especially knowing that the tech that they needed was to do so was literally on the other side of the wall inside the building. It irked me, and so I had to do something about it. And the idea of electrifying RVs came from that original side project or pet project, because I would tell people about it, and especially kind of more entrepreneurially minded folks, when I would talk to them about it, RVing always came up in conversation, and that I was thinking about what I thought the next wave of electrification would consist of, and especially within vehicles, because for Toby and I both, electrification of vehicles is sort of what we have devoted our careers to. And I looked into RVing, and I've always loved road tripping in the outdoors, and I saw that there was big opportunity.
So is that more storage down here?
This is actually a wheel cover, so you'll see it on the other side. You want an aero cover on the wheels to reduce the turbulence around the wheels, because that's another source of losses. The bigger story here is that around aero is that it is literally the first thing that we worked on. The first thing that I worked on when I was first kind of conceptualizing this vehicle was, how do you make it as drag efficient as possible? Because I guess it's sort of people who work on EVs are intimately familiar with how you must make to make a great electric vehicle right now. You need to make it passively efficient first, and that means going down the road. Aerodynamics if you had to pick one, it's the single big sort of most important way to reduce the drag of the vehicle, and in doing so, reduce the size of the battery that's necessary to have it go long range. And so, yeah, like aero wheel covers, maybe the largest single thing that we've done with the architecture of the vehicle to make it very aerodynamic is it's a transforming vehicle. So it has two modes to it. There's we call it a road mode and a camping mode. And when it's in road mode, which you can see on our website, and we can look at an image of over there, this entire top part of the vehicle, which we call the canopy, telescopes down. So imagine that this surface of the canopy is all the way down here. It's about a meter of stroke, and the idea in doing that is you reduce the frontal area of the vehicle. So instead of sort of pulling a brick or an air sail, you're pulling a bullet. So it's a very streamlined form. That's good. So yeah, that's a big story. Aerodynamics is key here. It's really the only way that you can make this a viable and affordable consumer product is through basically design for efficiency across every detail of the vehicle, and even kind of baked into the concept of what it is. It's a true electric vehicle, so it's we have an EV powertrain or an EV power system is integrated into the floor of the vehicle. It makes it very unique, because we're talking about, you have a high voltage EV battery plus a drive unit on board. The battery is charged off of the solar on the roof line and actually integrated into the awning as well. And then the drive unit, the idea is that, okay, we've made a vehicle first that is very passively efficient, and in making it so efficient, you get like to take the case of pulling with a Cybertruck or any EV truck. Normally, if you're pulling a traditional travel trailer with an EV truck, y'all have probably seen you can expect about 2/3 range loss. So let's say a 300-mile truck becomes a 100-mile truck. Through our solve to that, because we want to get we feel that it's for any of us who have done long distance electric road trips, if you have less than 300 miles, you're stopping too often between to charge, and so we've got 200 miles to make back. The first 100 of those we do passively, so it is just incredible improvements in drag efficiency. So then, instead of being at 100 miles of towing range, now you're back to 200, but there's still 100 to make up. And so that additional 100 we make up with the battery and the motor. And the motor on board, the drive unit, actually propels one of the axles of the trailer. And so the trailer is assisting the tow vehicle. It's basically pushing itself a little bit. And so from the perspective of the tow vehicle, it feels minimal load, minimal weight as you're cruising on the road. And so through the combination of the great efficiency and the EV powertrain, we get to a near range loss zero experience. So your 300-mile EV truck remains a 300-mile truck. For people with any gas or diesel tow vehicle, let's say you're pulling with a gas F-150, instead of 8 to 10 miles per gallon, which is what we've experienced, you're going to be back into the sort of highway cruising fuel economy. So think above 20 miles per gallon, which it's going to save. It's probably, you can do the math. If you do a couple thousand mile road trip, you've saved hundreds of dollars in fuel just kind of through what the vehicle is. So we think it's a big deal. Charging is, as you expect, there's a bunch of different ways to charge it. It's right now we're using CCS standard, and you can level 1, 2, or 3 charge it. So you could trickle charge it at your house. You can level 2 charge it if you have an EV charger or a 240 volt plug at your house. A really cool thing about building an electric vehicle for the RV world is that there's much less of an infrastructure problem in RVing than let's say in broader vehicle electrification. That's because many of the RV campgrounds across the country already have 240 volt high power hookups. So you can level 2 charge at those campgrounds overnight and then keep moving. And then finally, it's a true electric vehicle. It's built with the latest passenger car EV technology, so you can level 3 charge it as well. If you're trying to do a really long day and you need to go more than 300 miles, you'd stop, fast charge it, just as you're fast charging your truck, and then keep going. Yeah, it's of course this is all charging off of the plug, but there's a lot of you can get up to 3 kilowatts of solar on the roof. So that's actually where most EVs are small enough that the incremental charge that you can get from charging off of solar is not so great. It's marginal. In our case, it's quite significant because this vehicle is so big that there's enough roof area to get significant solar energy generation. Want to keep moving?
Is this a storage here?
That's a wire access panel. One of the things that we're most proud about with this prototype is I was starting to get into earlier is that normally you'd make a show car and it's not a very functional thing. In our case, it's a true alpha vehicle, so this is a fully functional first prototype of the vehicle. So it has the entire power system is integrated into it as well, the drive unit included. It is sort of a true picture of what a Lightship will be. So moving around, one other thing, we can do a whole tour through the interior, but one thing of note, I think on the design of the vehicle is that we really, many of us are from the automotive industry. Our creative leader was he was one of the key figures in developing the Rivian, the R1S and R1T design. And so his background is automotive design, and you see that heritage in many of the features of the vehicle. It's even little things that people are expect out of a passenger car, but have never seen before in an RV. Like think about flush integrated windows, more automotive style tail lamp assemblies. All of these things are things that we've prioritized in the design of the vehicle. And keep walking around.
So are these two windows open? This back and the side window? Are they
On the prototype, the ones that open are these two main windows, the two side windows, and the rear there, which is the bathroom rear hatch. Still debating which we make openable for the production design.
Window screen that's going to come down?
Yeah, Troy can actually show you. Obviously, privacy is real important with something that has this many windows.
To keep bugs out.
But we do not show the bug screens here, but we'll have a solution for bug screens because if you're anywhere buggy, like you want to let the air in, but not ideally the cicadas. Hop up and I can show you, or really Troy will show you. Troy's our software leader. So there's basically a photochromatic film that can change its opacity in response to an electrical signal. So if you want to go private, you can make it opaque like that. This is something we wanted to demonstrate as possible. Of course, traditional blinds are also an option here, but as we're weighing the couple options, we wanted to show the one that frankly is really exciting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Do you want to step on in? Last thing I was going to say about this, because I mentioned that a lot of this is, or a part of the origin story is this food truck idea, is that I now laugh that we have these enormous hatch opening windows because it's kind of like a food truck. I think actually how this may play out is as you've got this big hatch opening window, is you can imagine it's sort of like a inside outside dining scenario. So you can or maybe more generally you can be passing things through that window to people who are out at the campground. You'll see on the website too that we have a camp kitchen that we're integrating into the side of the body if you want to cook outdoors. Okay, so welcome to the interior of the Lightship L1. It's a more modern interior design. We have a really really awesome design team who've worked very hard, making a space that is really unique. I think one of the things that's unique about the purpose built approach here is that we took this product design challenge as a instead of it being an inside-out challenge, it was one that we would approach from the outside in. So we first made sure that the vehicle body was a very efficient shape, because that's how you get the long range, the long range electric road tripping experience, and then developed an interior around that sort of best complements that tapered shape, the streamlined bullet shape of the vehicle. The thing that you first notice when you enter is that it's got a really high ceiling. Most travel trailers, if you're used to being in a travel trailer, it can feel kind of like a cave. You can see. I'm like, I basically can't touch the ceiling, and I'm not that short. It's a 7.5 foot ceiling, so it's approaching residential height, and the way that we're able to do that is because we have the transforming design, so you can go between the road mode and the camp mode, and what it does for the experience is it makes this thing feel huge. It's sort of, I guess I would think of it, it's a very kind of open, spacious, airy feel to the space, and I just love that because I think you can spend a lot more time in a space like this when you don't feel cramped and claustrophobic. Then so we can move kind of front to back. The front space we call it's the lounge. It's the lounge area. It's funny. It's even a part of the inspiration for the concept, because it's a pretty unique type of space to have in an RV. Is if you think back to those 1970s kind of like conversation pits.
Sure.
This was that was part of the idea, and I think the idea is if you have this really nice space that you're in, you want you want a true hangout spot, and so the lounge functions as that. Pretty comfy area. I can show you. So this is also maybe this is your main bed space. So you would you have the means to make it into a full kind of queen, actually slightly larger than a queen size bed. There's a little peekaboo.
That's cool.
Yep. So
how does that work? The peekaboo, you just pull it out. And
it's kind of like an IKEA.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a pop up.
Does it
sort of thing?
Does it go up?
Yeah. So it completes
really? It's
the
good level.
Yeah, completes the surface of the bed.
Is it functional right now?
Somewhat, although
okay.
yeah, it's I would say we probably shouldn't show it.
Okay.
on the
Almost.
video. Yeah. We sort of all the very hardest stuff is and that's so unique is what we focused on a lot here, and some of the easier stuff we that came at the end.
Yeah.
Let's say
this seat right here, is it foldable or it's just
floating?
It's just floating. Okay.
Yeah. So if you wanted, you can either keep it that way for the aesthetic, or likely some people you can put like a duffel down there.
Got it. Underneath here, is this the wheel well area?
Part of it is the wheel well. There is also some storage space for bedding that goes on top of your ancillary beds. So of course this is the main bed that you're sitting on. This is the bedding scenario for the L1 Essential. So this would be for the entry trim level of the product. The idea is that of course you could sleep 2 adults in the main, and then also if you wanted to have someone, let's say a friend, or you stash the kids in your ancillary bed, then you can do that here. So your dining area then converts into a.
So this got it. So this goes down. Oh,
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Folding table.
Yeah. So now this becomes your second sleeping surface, and you can it's kind of like literally push of a button. Generally, one of the ideas across the vehicle is ease of use and making it accessible to people who haven't done a ton of RVing before. And so we wanted to make things pretty simple and intuitive. So this is your extra sleeping space in the Essential. And the bedding for which stores underneath the seat there.
What's under this main lounge area right back here, over here in the front?
Well, so the
so you have the bed.
Exactly the completion of the bed is under the first pillow, and then under that second pillow there is all pass-through storage. That's your outdoor garage.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Is there any reason why you have these panels here?
There's a good technical reason. They're access panels. This is for wiring and things like that.
Got it.
Again, I think one of the things we're kind of proud of is that it's like truly this is an engineered prototype that we're in. It's looks like, works like.
Is there anything behind these seat cushions at all?
Yes, that's the ducting for the air conditioner. So if you feel, Dave, you sort of feel behind, like here, feel here, for instance, you'll feel some gaps there. So those are the vents for the air conditioner.
It goes all the way.
Yep. So you vent up from the belt line.
Is that for heating too? AC and heating?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, bidirectional heat pumps. You can do heating and cooling, and you have very very high performance. Sort of like every 1 watt of battery energy that you put in, you get 3 watts out of heating or cooling power. Similar system to what is being built into any other passenger car EV today, but completely novel for a space like this.
What can you explain how this step system works?
Sure. Yeah, it's a fold up.
Okay.
We could do it if you want.
Okay.
Can we fold up the step? Just show them. So it folds up for travel, and then Colin, if you want to pull it back down too. Yeah, so that's how it goes away.
Okay.
And then there's a release right here.
Okay.
So it'll come back down for camping.
Got it. Okay. Got it. And then, are you guys gonna be like how are you guys gonna be patching any air gaps or holes to the outside?
I couldn't tell you right now, but it'll probably be some sort of a filler and a seal. It'll be mechanically sealed off.
Got it. And then in between kind of these, right here, there's some air gap right now between the outer shell and the inner. Yeah,
this is also, so it'll take a rubber seal to it. Yeah, you can actually you can see one of the sealing surfaces for when you're in the road mode down along the body line here. If you see that slight step
Yeah.
That becomes a sealing surface, and then you have another at the top.
I see. Okay.
The seal also helps stabilize the canopy, so it functions as one monolithic structure, and there's no relative movement between the two.
Yeah. Got it.
Little shoe storage under there too.
Okay.
These are back here. This would be like a resting surface for your device, for instance. There's Qi chargers, wireless charging areas, kind of across the vehicle too.
So wireless charging here.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah, so you can toss your devices there. Same here. There's also a pop-up. There's a little light on the back there.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. And then up here is just kind of additional storage or bags?
Yeah, this is a design. I guess a design system that we're really proud of. It's an accessory system, but we call it the gear rail system. And the idea is that you can put many accessories up there, so it's a configurable thing. What we've shown here is additional storage duffels, so like overhead storage. We think some people, if you're a couple, you may opt to keep the window space, so you can get more natural light in during the day. But let's say you are a larger family, or if you're going out for a longer period and you need the additional storage space, then you can add that additional storage with the gear rails. I think we'll see that they'll do a lot of work for the product over time. So you can imagine putting all of your gear, fishing poles and skis and snowboards and surfboards, kind of anything you can imagine can go up into the gear rail. It's meant to be a modular thing, and you have them on both sides of the vehicle, up in the curved sections.
So when the top goes down, do you need to remove these things, or does it just
they're built
right
to just clear.
Oh, so it goes down about this much height.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, they both clear. The ceiling is within a few inches of the faucet. The faucet is the high point within the interior. There's still enough space for for other gear like bikes and things like that, even when you're in the road mode. Yeah.
And then, what can you tell me about the storage over here?
You mean what can I show you?
Yeah, what can you show me about the storage?
Yeah, it's so true. Storage spots. You can kind of put anything you imagine in there. I think most people will put clothing there, but it's totally kind of up to folks.
Got it.
What
so
they
how
wanna
many
store.
are there? There is it 4?
4 of those. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Got
4
it.
over.
And
There's a trash area. It'll be like a flip up cover, although it becomes a part of the countertop too, because you want to keep this continuous console going, and then pull it out
can
to
you
the front.
open that one?
This is the idea. I guess it's not actually that bad.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like so.
And are these more drawers?
Yeah, so this is drawer style. So instead of the flip down for the main straight section of the console, this is more like
okay.
you can imagine your cutlery goes there. Let's say pots and pans, things like that, and you got two levels of that.
Yeah.
There's your third.
And then how about storage on this kitchen side?
Yeah, so a lot going on in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Generally it's a micro kitchen where all of the appliances are of course all electric, and they're generally stored below the countertop. You've got all the essentials. So we have most of the appliances, I should say, are drawer style. It's for the ergonomics of it, because it's a lot easier to reach into a drawer style appliance. You've got a two drawer fridge, so that's one drawer, and this is your second fridge drawer. You also have a drawer style freezer. Actually pretty good space, two levels to it. You have some under sink storage. See, it goes around the P-trap there. Pretty good farm. I guess they call it a farmhouse style sink. Some outlets in the back. You can see the countertop follows the boat-tailed, tapered section of the rear. So you have that's kind of an interesting counter shape. You got a induction cooktop, and we'll make sure you have the right pots and pans for it so that it works well. This induction is, for anybody who's done it, it's crazy fast. You can boil water like half the time of a flame.
Is this more storage down here?
No, you're gonna be excited about that.
Okay.
So, microwave.
Okay.
And one of the things that I have a good story for this. The last is a 6-setting dishwasher.
Wow, that's crazy.
So this came from I guess we've been thinking about it for a while, but Toby, my co-founder, and I we try to do it. We do an annual co-founders camping trip, and so we were camping in a van on the eastern slope of the Rockies, and at a hip camp, and we had made this like enormous spaghetti dinner, and we'd had a couple drinks and done campfire, and it was 10:30 p.m. and we went in, and the kitchen was just like full of caked on dishes, and I was like, okay, Toby, let's clean the dishes here, and also please let's put a dishwasher as an option in there. So yeah, we got one, and it actually a cool thing about it is that, I mean, one in a vehicle like this, because of the power system, you have the power to run it sort of wherever you are, and two, you get a lot of water savings out of it because I think it's about as double as water efficient as just hand washing your dishes.
How many gallons of water does it take?
We should check online, but I think it's only a couple gallons.
Really?
Wow. It's actually remarkably efficient. I think because they recirculate the water as part of the cleaning cycle.
Is this a real dishwasher? Right
Yeah. Yeah, do you want to do some dishes? We can do it.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Huh, okay.
So.
How do you turn it on?
Proud of that one.
Where are the controls?
It's actually Wi-Fi capable, and there are also some buttons hidden in there.
Add some stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
And then how about check out the bathroom?
Yeah. So
I'll
you pop on out. I'll pop on in.
Yep.
I guess we were thinking early on, what makes for a nice living space? Well, it's a high ceiling and a spa-like bathroom experience where you can sort of relax in here. So we didn't want to skimp on having a nice dry bath that you can do your business in. Generally, it's split almost down the middle. Toilet side, shower side. So I'm standing in the shower now. Tile floor. There's sort of a wraparound drain you can see. If you're using it just as a bathroom, then you could flip up the countertop like this, so you get a little bit of extra countertop space. And there's your grab handle to put it back down, and then to take a shower, there's a curtain that drops down. So Okay. Goodbye. I'm going to the shower now. And it's an overhead shower style. I guess they call it a rain head shower. And then the controls and some of your storage for soap and things like that are down low.
Got it. So yeah. Is up here, is that an access panel or?
Yeah, exactly. This is for access, so you get to the plumbing.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Have you guys done anything with the water pump, like to make it more quieter than a typical RV at all?
Not yet. I'm acutely aware of that problem. I think there are different types of pumps out there, and we're making sure that we're testing and using the one that will be quieter. The fact that we have some higher voltage power on board also kind of opens up the options in terms of what pump you can use. The last thing I can show, we didn't show a grab handle on this one, but normally, I guess the idea is the whole back window of the RV pops open, and this would be cool on a hot day. Again, there'll be a screen as well. If you want to really bring the outside in as you're taking a shower, for instance, you could do that. We're even talking about maybe putting a wand here with a little cleat, so you could truly take an outdoor shower, from like if you're in a secluded area. But then most of the time it'll be in like this, right? And I can pull it in. So the whole rear of the bathroom is a mirrored surface.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Look, Dave,
cool.
you and me. And it's great. I guess designers have known this forever, but a mirror makes the space feel much bigger. I find that it actually makes the whole vehicle feel bigger as you're looking in, but you especially feel it in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're proud of that one.
Definitely. Cool.
Yeah, that's
all right.
That's a lot of it. I think you got the comprehensive.
Yeah, and then you guys. Walkthrough. I mean, the windows at the top are a nice addition as well.
Yeah, I mean,
adds
because
a
the
lot of
thinking, right, is
light.
that there are going to be some days where you want the privacy, so you want to close off most of the glass, but you may still want the the natural light streaming in,
Yeah.
and so you can do that with the windows that are built into the automotive term for this would be the tumble home on the vehicle. You see that above the belt line of any passenger car, as well as it's where in the cab starts to taper in.
Got it. Did you guys ever consider like a slide out at all, or was it mostly
I yes,
just up and down?
did think about it. If I'm honest, the engineer in me is why we didn't do it and kind of can't do it, because a slide out,
Yeah.
sliding like this is okay because you're going with gravity. Sliding like this, putting a room in and out sideways, gravity just wants to do this all the time, and yeah, we love making good products. Who are we to fight the universe?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
no horizontal slide, but we did a lot. We went through, I think, 80 or 90 different layouts to get to one that you've hopefully felt through the tour is really easy to circulate in.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of people in here, and there's no sort of jostling over each other. Even you can imagine, even if you're cooking in the kitchen here and somebody needs to go to the bathroom, it's really easy to pass behind. So there's sort of no bottlenecks or no pinch points.
How
in the
reliable
vehicle.
is the lift system?
Quite. I mean, the whole vehicle. One of our core tenets is building to last, or making a product that's built to last. We intend for the L1 to be a product that and all of our products to last, for generations. Like it's for generational use, and the way that we do that is because, again, many of us come from the automotive industry and are familiar with the level of validation and testing that is required to get a product into the field that will last for significant cycles, like even decades of use. We're applying the same development principles to this vehicle, and we think it'll be to really good effect.
So I've read some people are concerned, like, because it's mostly glass on the outside, and it when it goes down and you're towing it, if rocks on the road kind of hit the glass, is that a concern? Like, can you speak to anything about the width of the glass, how sturdy the glass is?
Yeah, sure. I mean, well, it's interesting. There are many approaches to that. One is more of like a materials approach, but what I would say generally is that look at the trend in automotive right now. It's towards cabins with more and more windows integrated into the vehicle. We are applying this sort of the same development principles or validation principles here. We're going to make sure, though, that on the production vehicle, for instance, you have mud guards and rock guards on the front of the vehicle, because that's your most chip prone area. But there's a lot that you can do to make a window a very resilient surface, and we're making sure it'll be so.
Got it. So I mean, I would imagine it's the vulnerability would be mostly just on the front, right, and the side right here. Right?
Yeah, like these are. I mean, the corners right here. Those are probably the corner. These front corners are your danger points.
Yeah.
And yeah, one, we're gonna make sure that you have adequate guards there and that they're well integrated into the design.
Okay.
And two, if something ever happens to them, we're designing for serviceability as well.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be an easily replaceable part.
Okay, got it. All right, looks good. I think we did a full. And one last thing. What's this drawer down there?
That's at least in this prototype, it's just a false door, because you can imagine that's the other wheel well under there.
Okay.
Because this is a double axle trailer. You do it both for weight and safety.
You need the wheel.
You want to make sure that if you ever have a blowout on the road, that your second axle is able to support the load to keep going down the road. And we're looking into things like tire pressure monitoring as well to make sure that you know what's going on back there, and especially with things like the infotainment system, which will be mobile based over time too. You'll be able to know everything that's happening on your vehicle as you're in the cab of your tow vehicle.
Got it. On a scale, let's say out of 100%, how much was the exterior like a challenge versus the interior? Like, how much energy the past 2 years was spent on the exterior and the structure versus just the inside?
I don't know. It's hard to say that we devoted a ton more energy to one than the other, because we are incredibly passionate about both of them. The exterior came before the interior because we knew we had to set those aerodynamic A surfaces, as they call them, before we could go to the inside and design within those surfaces. But we're a 32 or 33 person full-time startup at this point, so we're still a very small team, and we are incredibly passionate about like every part of this. And for all of this, a lot of people are. Frankly, I am kind of in awe of what we've been able to get done over 2 years, and I would just say that things don't just get better, right? Things get better when you have a very dedicated, passionate team, and sometimes a small team is actually what does it best, and a group of people who have a vision for what better looks like and are willing and able to take on challenges and make sacrifices, really struggle to get to better. And we think that we're on that path at Lightship, and we're pretty excited that we get to walk it, and we hope that you'll come with us.
Got it. So a quick couple questions. Where are the tanks?
Underneath. Okay, so all holding tanks underneath.
Okay, so where, just generally speaking, would be the freshwater?
Right now, the freshwater is located on the front.
The front there. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, it's under this whole section, and then the gray and the black are more towards the rear.
Do you have sizes like you've
not published yet? Not published, but okay. we'll make sure that with the power system, you're going to be able to even in relatively low sun conditions do, let's say, a week of off-grid camping, and we'll make sure that you have the water holding capacity to match.
And then with dumping, are you guys doing anything interesting with dumping the black tank?
We may at some point over time, but when you're building a home and an electric vehicle and a consumer electronics product, you have to figure out where to not try to take on too much scope, and so I think we'll probably.
Will it be a standard just gravity dump, or will you do a macerator?
TBD.
Okay, got it. Okay, so we have our water system. Will you be able to check the levels of the tanks?
Yeah, totally. I don't know if you saw the. Where's our tablet?
I guess someone took it.
Hey, Colin, do you mind if I use the tablet? Thanks.
Okay.
As you can check out, this is our demonstration of the UI right now. So custom built infotainment system too, right?
Okay.
Like every good vehicle that you buy these days has software was not an afterthought. It was an essential thought from the start, and we did the same. So you have a true kind of connected vehicle with a custom built infotainment system. You can go through. This is your main means of control and monitoring, and I think will become more and more valuable over time as Tesla has done. You just keep adding new features to make the vehicle better. So you can do all your controls from here. You can do lights, climate.
Oh, nice.
This is how you tint and untint the windows. This is just the beginning. This is how you raise and lower the canopy as well.
Okay.
Here's your tank level sensors. There's going to be an energy readout as well, all connected to the power system. And we think it's going to be a pretty awesome thing. It's funny because EV owners oftentimes you want to precondition your vehicle on a hot day, for instance. And I have this dream of going out for a long hike. Maybe you leave your truck at the trailhead. You get back to the truck. Let's say it's sweltering. It's like 95 degrees or 90 degrees or something like that. You precondition the vehicle as you're doing your 15 or 30 minute drive back, and by the time you get back, it is like whisper quiet and cool.
Yeah, or dog mode.
There should be a dog mode too. No, totally. People do this, right? People leave their pets in the RV, and sometimes even leave the generator running to keep the pets cool. In our case, it's going to be like all good. We'll send you alerts on if anything is happening to the pets. Having it be connected and remote accessible really changes the game in with this type of product.
Yeah. Where's all the electrical stuff, like in terms of the just inverter and the
it's all in the underbody.
It's all underbody. Okay.
It's I can show you down low. Put this tablet away.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get a peek at it if you want.
Cool.
peek down low there. You can see the drive units in place. The battery packs are up front. Some of the electronics are stored away here. The inverters are also based down low. Gives you a sense of what's going on.
Got it. So
But yeah, like I said, this was a lot of the building this prototype is one to show it to the world because we opened reservations a few days ago, so people can put down a $500 deposit, fully refundable, to basically get a spot in line for production, which is goal is end of next year to begin production and then ramping throughout 2025. And to do it that fast, you need to do real engineering work, and you can't release vaporware. It's got to be the real thing, and be doing that all the way up to the launch. And so we are using this asset. We have used this asset to do a lot of true product and engineering development on it as well.
In terms of batteries, what are you guys doing? Are you getting off the shelf just batteries, stitching them together, or is there something I don't know, can you share
What's the
anything
magic?
Yeah.
I can't say everything about it yet, but know that it's high voltage automotive style lithium ion batteries.
Okay.
I think we show on the website too that it's if you get the L1 Essential, then you get a 40 kilowatt hour battery that doubles to an 80 kilowatt hour battery plus the drive unit for the range assist function, or for the electric drive function. If you do the L1 long range, as we call it, and we're I think an important thing is that we're the batteries that are on board, the L1, are not they're not like unobtainium, right? It is a commercially available lithium ion technology, and the beauty of it is that the density that you need, the energy density and cost that you need from those batteries is already available thanks to the incredible work and resources that have been put into developing them for the automotive supply base over the past decade or so. That's part of why this company can exist now, is because there's this really great set of components that have been built and now are built in volume and costed down and high quality, all of these things, and so that you can now build into a vehicle like this. I will say, so I was a battery engineer at Tesla for years. A lot of the other folks on the team have worked on batteries in some capacity as well, and especially within the EV industry. And I know what it takes to build a great, high quality, costed down, high voltage battery. I think it would be very challenging for us this early on to do something like that. So in some ways, we're maybe more using the sort of the network that we have within the battery industry to make sure we're delivering a top quality product.
Got it. And then drive unit, motor, is it something I guess you're sourcing as well from the whole supply chain too, right?
Or can't say so much about that one, but it's very special sauce.
Got it. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So battery, drive unit, powertrain. I mean, that adds a lot of I wouldn't say a complexity. It's yeah.
I would agree. I mean, it's the reason we can make a product like this, make it simple enough, make it cheap enough, is because we are able to take an automotive approach to this, and we have the expertise in the team to develop it in the right way.
Got it.
Yeah.
A few people I've talked with, just friends who I'm like, hey, check out this RV. They're like, can they really make it at that price point that you guys are aiming for? I mean, what's your strategy? How are you confident enough, to charge what you're charging for something so advanced in terms of, all the batteries and technologies?
The first thing I would say is that my co-founder Toby, who you saw at the start of the video, led finance at Tesla for several years, all through the Model S and the Model X. He was also the first product manager for the Model S, the Model S 1.0 with the the black fish mouth grill. And I think he launched the dual motor and the first version of Autopilot as part of that work. Look at the margin structure that Tesla has achieved now. He's not going to let us not have a financially healthy vehicle program here. The same goes for our director of finance, Rory. He was of the same Tesla finance lineage. He worked on the Model 3 program. So we have this business will not exist. We will not be an impactful business that can have an impact on the industry and also scale and produce at volume if we do not design our vehicle programs to be financially healthy and have a good mix and a good average gross margin. So I would say have faith in us that we are making a financially stable program and one that will be successful for customers and also for us.
Sure. Do you have like a break-even point where you need a certain number of vehicles per year in order to, become profitable?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Good question, Dave.
Yeah. Well, and I guess that's an internal target, and then you have a specific time frame you want to reach those goals too, right? That break even.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean we're running it. We're running it just like an automotive vehicle program.
Got it. And then what can you tell me about ramp plans? You're saying you want to start a production end of 2024, ramping 2025. What does kind of a ramped product production capacity look like? Is it 100 a year? Is it 50? Is it 500? Is it like, what is that kind of goal?
I want to tell you a lot more about it, but I can't share it right now.
Okay,
but
got it.
There's a plan in place.
All right, and then I'm curious about kind of the exterior. What can you tell me about how you're able to put this together? Like, what material is it, and like how is it made? I'm guessing there's type of a frame underneath, and you have.
The prototype shown with it, it's a composite body. One thing, the gross weight of the vehicle, so fully loaded with cargo and water in the holding tanks, is 7,500 pounds. We did that because we want to make sure that this vehicle is towable by a full-size truck, so either a half-ton pickup truck or a full-size SUV. Think Expedition or Chevy Tahoe or those large 7-seater SUVs. And that's it's no small feat to get to that weight point, because we are adding batteries and electronics on board, and so the body, the chassis, the interior, we've spent a lot of time shedding mass in those areas to make sure that we hit the overall mass target.
Because one of the things I noticed is like this doesn't look like a cheap RV trailer for sure. This looks like
Thank you.
Yeah, it looks like legit.
So some of it is material choice and construction, and efficient structural design is a good way to sort of remove, to shed mass and cost. I would say a lot of it, which is a concept that we take from other vehicle building, is this idea of perceived quality too. Which is that's a very sort of like design, fit, and finish driven element, and we've spent a lot of time making sure that it looks as solid and good as it does in developing the product from the beginning.
Like for a complete newbie to how RV structures are made, like what are you guys doing differently than, let's say, a typical RV manufacturer, or what are you guys doing the same?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would say, without going too in depth into it, the vehicle is a two-part vehicle, and so you sort of we are forced to take a pretty ground-up approach to that, and think about the basic structural engineering here to make sure that you should check out on the website I think it's on the exterior portion of the product page. There's a sub-bullet called "Built to Last," and it talks about a little bit of the or at least gives a depiction of the engineering that went just into the canopy. So you can see a sort of like a skeletal cutaway of the canopy. We're doing a lot of work to make sure that we are as mass and material efficient as possible in every area of the vehicle, and that also means doing analysis, for instance, to know where the main loads are, the load points on the vehicle, and making sure that we have enough material and structure there while shedding it elsewhere.
Got it. Okay. And then, in order to scale production, your ramp, what is the challenge? Is it
apart from everything?
Yeah. I mean, is it exactly for the exterior? Is it are there some complications or challenges specifically are there machinery? Is there some techniques? What's going to be the challenge in terms of scaling? Making these things.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be really hard. It's developing a great product is tough. Bring a great and large complicated hardware product to market, and doing so in stable series volume production is tougher. So we have a challenging road ahead of us, and we sort of know we know what the mountain looks like, because many of us have done these vehicle sort of start to finish vehicle programs within the auto industry. My I guess like I mentioned earlier, my experience with it was the Model 3 program from very early through the ramp. It's going to be hard. I would say I guess especially those of us who were at Tesla or some of the newer EV companies we're in some ways we're children of the vertical integration mantra. So we're being strategic about just how far we take that, given this sort of the scale of our company right now, or really the size of our company. But think about things like general assembly, for instance. Like we firmly believe that the people who design and engineer the product must also be the people who manufacture the product. If you're not building it yourself, it's really hard to make rapid adjustments to the product. It's hard to know where what all the quality and pieces are, where to inspect, things like that. So we're doing the bulk of the assembly ourselves. We're setting up a production facility in Colorado to do so. Our company is split between San Francisco Bay Area and sort of the greater Denver area, around Boulder in particular. And so we're going to be building and assembling a lot of this stuff ourselves, and we're making sure that we're working through that production ramp and responding to the constraints that you don't know about at the outset of the ramp to keep pushing it as fast as possible.
Let's talk a little bit this way. So I'm curious, do you guys have any type of iterative strategy in terms of getting to production? Meaning, you've got your alpha here.
Yep.
How are you road testing? Are you gonna get it into consumers' hands at all with beta, or are you just gonna sell your what's the strategy in terms of how are you gonna iteratively get this to production and ramp?
We do have a strategy. It's a very savvy question. I can't tell you a bunch about what it is right now, but I would say that even at events like this, we're showing people the product. We're also we're listening to customers, because once you get to touch and feel it and use it is when you can get some of the cleanest feedback from people sort of on the spot. And so we're both responding to that, doing more of the sort of the technical development cycle in the background. Think sort of automotive stage gate style development, and making sure that by the time we are producing these things in volume, that they have had a lot of real world tests, both product and sort of product in the sense of real customers using them, and technical in the sense of the engineering validation.
Got it. And then how did you guys decide on the size of the vehicle? Because it's 27 feet,
27-foot travel trailer.
Okay. And then, and then I'm guessing width too, right?
Mm-hmm.
It seems very similar to kind of the most popular Airstreams, which are around that size.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys make it similar to that, or?
Yeah, it's a combo of. It's a bunch of things. It's our own experience RVing. A lot of the company goes RVing. We do it. Toby and I used to take the engineering cars out when we were at Tesla, and you're so-called dog fooding the engineering cars, getting to use them and see what's good and see what's breaking. Our idea of that here is we have a program called Light Tripping, where we give our employees a stipend to go RVing and sort of experience the product and the lifestyle themselves, and then one, have fun, and two, bring that experience back to their work and to the company. Wait, sorry, what?
So 27 foot.
Oh,
why,
yeah. How do we get 27?
Why not 23 or 25?
Yeah. So one of it was intuition, sort of from our own experience. Mm-hmm. Two, and actually more important, was talking to a lot of customers. Sort of before, I guess Toby's joked to me that before we had money, before we had raised any venture dollars, we had a lot of time. So the two of us just went out and talked to dozens and dozens of RVers, and we did these long form interviews, and that learning from those people, that customer intelligence that we gathered was one of the ways that we arrived at a few archetypes, like the main people we think we'll build for.
Yeah.
You can imagine that, this is a really good trailer for think like a small family, for instance, who honestly, Dave, it's a lot of your story. It's a smaller family, go a little bit more on the beaten path, but not always with power or water hookups. So you're going to state and national campgrounds, hip camps, harvest hosts. Maybe occasionally you're dry camping on Bureau of Land Management land. Sort of that bevy of camping style. Wanted to make sure that it was one, big enough to feel spacious and have all of the main areas of the dwelling, have bedding, kitchen area, a sort of a dining area, and a well-sized bathroom. So it fits in that sense. And two, I guess it was also market research. It was understanding what this is sort of like our Model S, right? Where it is. It's not like an unobtainably priced vehicle. It is in a let's say the premium mainstream of the market, where we know there's sufficient volume to make the program economics work and be successful. And so this, going deeper into that market research, you see that this is a great size for that type of family too, or that type of traveler.
Got it.
Yeah. Also just feels good.
Yeah, exciting. I mean, I would imagine there's a room for, I guess, different models in the future. Is that?
Yeah. I mean, this is just the beginning, right? We you got to focus on one product to start with, I think, because lack of focus kills startups, and so we're doing that. But the whole in a lot of ways, it's a little bit of the Tesla approach, right? Like you start with this really awesome sort of flagship style product. You put it into a certain area of the market, and you develop your manufacturing systems and technology, and build a customer base, and get some real passion behind, and sort of recognition behind the brand. And then we are not stopping there. Like the idea for this company is we want to have scale and impact, and one of the ways you do that is you go deeper and deeper into towards the mainstream of the market. So we're going to keep building more products that address different people's RV lifestyles and are more and more accessible over time. We'll be doing this across sort of every area of the business, and what who we are and what we stand for. And we want to change the industry.
Thoughts on Cybertruck? I mean, it seems like your launch and ramp is kind of
pretty well timed.
Yeah, around the same time. I mean,
thanks.
Was any part of the design like kind of to match the Cybertruck at all? I mean, I noticed these like back tailgate, lights. I mean, they would work. They would look great, like behind a Cybertruck. I think. I mean,
I agree. I mean, I think it looks really good behind a lot of modern, modern electric vehicles, modern electric trucks. You notice that the angularity in the design is pretty well matched to something like the Cybertruck. But I would say generally it's just when you do modern automotive styling on a vehicle like this, and really the automotive styling is what is wrapped around what was originally the aerodynamics engineering that made this form what it is. But when you do all that, it tends to pair really well with a lot of the trucks that are coming out now too. So I think it's cool because it looks good on your property, it looks good in your driveway. It's when you're storing it, it's half height, so it's about the height of a truck anyway, which makes it a lot easier to store.
What's the height of it folded down?
It's about the height of a truck. I think it's just shy of 7 feet.
Okay.
So it's same height as a full-size truck.
Okay.
And yeah, it's great. I mean, it'll hide behind a fence, things like that, which is cool. It looks good anyway. And yeah, I think people are just they're gonna be proud towing it down the road, and you're gonna be proud when you get to the campsite and it's have this presentation of putting it into its camping mode. And I just think, judging on some of the reactions that I've seen over the last couple of days here at South by Southwest, people are digging the design.
It's in the air like a blazing flare.